Hi, my name is Connor Petrey. I'm with Cinefied.com. First of all, I mean, I am beyond happy to get a chance to talk to you too. Abigail is one of my favorite films in recent memory.
Thanks,
I,
man. Thank you.
and I mean, of course, Ready or Not is just such a blast. So I cannot wait to see this film at South by. So let's just start there. South by Southwest, it's definitely going to be a crowded, almost guaranteed packed theater. And I'm wondering what makes this sequel such a film to go see in a packed theater? What makes it like a film to see in a theater for you guys?
I think that, I mean, look, our sort of tone specifically, the mix of like, thrills and scares and laughter, those are all things that elicit a very vocal response and reaction from people. And the mix of those things, when done well, I mean, it's just something that's so fun to share with a group. There's a sense of, there's almost a contagious nature when you're dealing in those very expressive emotions. And this movie is like just absolutely packed to the brim with that stuff. And
Okay.
it's full of surprises and full of twists and things that people aren't expecting. And I think that at the end of the day, like experiencing and sharing that with a large group is like part of the fun and certainly part of the design of how we made and why we make the movies that we make.
I mean, that's a perfect reason why I'm excited to see it in a packed theater. I mentioned Abigail at the top. Abigail and Ready or Not, they have quite a lot of explosive blood scenes. And I'm wondering, are we going to see a lot of that come back into play in this film, or is that just up for surprise? What can you
Both.
say?
I think it's one of the things that when we were getting into this that was kind of fun to figure out is everybody knows if they've seen the first movie that people can explode in this. So how do we, in this movie, kind of subvert that expectation, play with it, and go in already all just knowing the baseline exists, and then expand from there. So it's there, but we took pains to make sure that it wouldn't be in the just kind of same way we've already done it.
And we can also say that, we are aware there is a conversation around like the trailer, and it happens on every movie where people are like, oh, well, they've shown me everything. You have like literally no idea what this movie is going to do. And we've been very specific about what we've shown to create,
Good point.
to create some surprise and even subvert expectation in that respect.
No, I mean that's fantastic to hear because I'm one of those people that always doubt that the trailers reveal too much, and I'm so happy that you both can confirm that there's way more than what the trailer is showing. Because I mean, just from what the trailer shows, I mean, I'm beyond hyped. So Samara has a kick-ass iconic scream that we've seen time and time again now. Is that going to be coming into play quite a lot in this film, or how does she have a purpose for screaming in this, or is she going to be lock and key?
The surprise that's not in the trailer is it's a walk in the park for her. No, yeah, she definitely, her scream is utilized quite well in this one.
There are more forms of peril in this movie.
Yes.
Significantly more forms of peril.
Well, that's good to hear. The trailers do show that this film takes place almost immediately after the first film ends, and I'm wondering how difficult was it to recreate, from a director's standpoint, recreate the final moments of that film and bring it into this film and just like start straight from there. Like, how difficult was it years later to bring that back?
I mean, it was, I think, one of the big technical challenges of the movie, maybe the biggest technical challenge of the movie. But Sam hasn't aged a day. When we were developing the sequel and it looked like it was going to be the next thing we did, and then we went off and made some other projects, and it sort of sat around in development for a while, and it was always burning. It was always that thing that we wanted to return to. But at some point we were like, man, how many years is too many before Sam actually ages a day? And apparently 7 years isn't too many, because she looks exactly the same, which was a big part of like knowing that we could and should, start immediately on the heels of the first movie, that we just could, we had the ability to do that, which is, I mean, It's rare, and we're so grateful.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, just from the scenes we see in the trailer, I mean, she looks exactly the same as like as soon as the credits started rolling, she looks exactly the same. So it's
Shocking.
crazy. The so there's a lot of really fun and brutal kills in the first film with the hide and seek, and in this one we're also still playing hide and seek essentially. And I'm wondering, are we one upping the kills? Are we going just as brutal? How are we feeling about the kills?
We're feeling good about them. We worked a lot to make sure that that there weren't just repeat beats, that everything was like, how do we change this? How do we subvert these expectations? How do we take this movie? The whole approach to this movie was, how do we acknowledge that the first one was good and that people like it, but not rest on any laurels about it. It has to be, we were very unprecious about the first movie. So going into this one with the kill specifically, it was like, great. Now, how do we just like make this as fucking zany as possible and still ground it? And I think that was always sort of the goal.
It was a little like taking a page out of the Scream book, honestly. Like, how do we design sequences and set pieces and kills around the specific locations and ideas and identities that feel really specific and really bespoke to this movie and the ingredients that we're playing with in the movie.
Yeah, I'm honestly cannot wait to see these kills play out. So just just keep hyping me up, So Catherine Newton joins this film, and she's kind of, from what I can tell, kind of a support of Grace this time around. And I'm wondering, how does that come into play? Because in the first film, without spoilers, in the first film, she's kind of a lone wolf. Like, she's in on it herself. Is Catherine Newton's character more of like a support, or is she more of like I have to defend my sister at all costs?
No, I think that what we can say is that we always went into this sequel like planning on it being a two-hander. So for as much as she's supporting Grace, like Grace is also supporting her, and at the end of the day, like that central relationship is the reason why we think that this sequel should and can and will and like be as good as the original. It's that relationship and the dynamic between those two characters that gives the movie something to do other than just be a bigger sequel. And it was really important, and that was a lot of time and energy was put into developing what a central relationship could be that was emotional and stakesy and really gives this movie a specific identity that is separate from the first Ready or Not in a lot of respects.
Gotcha. I appreciate it. And last question for you. This film is stacked with brilliant talent on the screen. And I'm just wondering, when you had that many like talented people on screen together, was there a lot of like improvisation, or was it like strict to the script? Because I mean, it seems like a wild time from the trailer.
Both. It definitely wasn't stick to the script at all times. It was, I think our approach to always working with actors is, here's a great script and a great character. Now let's make it yours, and whatever that requires to do that. And I think everybody on this really, really did a lot of work to bring those characters to life and to make them unique. And it's from little things, little choices, costume choices, tattoo choices, glances, looks, movements, whatever it is. It just makes it all feel lived in and real. And I think for us, at the end of the day, the goal is to make something that, when you take away all of the spectacle and all of the fun gags, that there's still really great characters that you want to watch. And I think everybody that is cast in this movie rose to the occasion, exceeded our expectations, and this is like such a special ensemble. And, hopefully you feel that when you're watching it.
Well, thank you so much, you two, for your time. I mean, like I said, I'm beyond thrilled that I got a chance to talk to you two, and I hope to get to do it again with your next film. So thank you.
We love that.
We love it, man. Thank you.